Okay, today we are playing a game on Watchpoint Gibraltar. We are in the Silver SR range, and we will be playing about a third of the game as Pharah, about a third of the game as Orisa, and about a third of the game as D.Va. It doesn't quite divide up that nicely, but it's close enough. Our current team composition is Roadhog, Zarya, Pharah, Genji, Mercy, and Moira. It's a terrible combination of tanks. It's actually awful. We've got 2 off-tanks as our tanks, and we're gonna call it good. It's terrible. Now, the benefit is that our 2 DPS are pretty independent, right? So they don't really have to, hang out behind a tank, but standing on the objective is going to be pretty difficult with a Pharah and a Zarya, with a Roadhog and a Zarya as your tanks. Now, if the Pharah and Zarya were your tanks, that indeed would make it very difficult to stand on the objective, but it's not quite that bleak. It's only almost that bleak. So let's start the game. There is no sound in today's video, by the way, because there is mad talking in the background, which would be it's very annoying to listen to one person try to talk over several other people, is the gist of it. So we've learned immediately that they have a Widowmaker because we've just seen Venom Mine on their, on our Genji. So that's something to be scared of. We also knew from peeking through the windows that they also have a McCree. So, they also have an Ana. It's a very hostile environment to play Pharah on, being as they have so very many things that can kill us. Now, Ana should not be doing this. Trying harder to kill this lady, because she's not allowed to be doing what she's doing, and we just kind of let her get away with it. Now, granted, we're at 130 health, so if she shot us twice, she would kill us. But we're clearly not afraid of death if we did that, are we? Clearly death is not something we're concerned about if we're just gonna jet up in front of the Widowmaker, McCree, and Ana at 130 health. Just, try and, push the Ana out of the, staircase with concussive blast. Try and kill her. Because she wasn't really allowed to do that, but she got away with it, so she didn't get punished, so she doesn't have to learn. Secondary follow-up point. If you're, if you're not at full health, and you're playing against that many things that can kill Pharah, don't just jump out into open space in front of them. It's not gonna go so well. Now, so, things are going badly over there. We just take one look at that situation with the Roadhog, and we just go, nah, maybe I'll come back later, dude. Y'all look like you're having a problem. They're having some problems. So, you don't necessarily have to change off of Pharah in this situation, because Pharah is that way, where as long as, the Widow isn't good enough to one-shot you when you peek the corner, it's not the end of the world, actually. Now, if the Widow is really good, there's basically nothing you can do about it. But this Widow is in silver/gold. The SR is a little messed up because we're 4 silver players queued with 2 platinum players. It's it had the gold icon, but the actual number for the average SR was silver. It was 1800. So, it was a little bit messed up. It didn't quite know what to do. So, we're trying to bully this Ana right now. She should be super mega ultra dead, but we've missed a lot of shots. So, you don't, obviously aim better is, the focal point of that whole thing right there. When you're playing Pharah, you can just, jump directly down on somebody's head and fucking murder them. Just, Goomba stomp them and then jump back up again. I've accidentally told this to take a screenshot instead of delete the pen, which is terrible. You can just, dip down on somebody's head and Goomba stomp them. It's, that's perfectly valid Pharah strats. You've played Soldier and you've had the Pharah just, jumping up and down on your head with a rocket. So it's happened to you. It's happened to everyone. So, anyway, now we're trying to kill this here Widowmaker. Now, they should both be dead, but we failed to execute on it properly, is essentially what happened here. Which, just aim better, dude. Just, put the cursor over the man in a way that results in him dying. And that's how you win the game. Secondary follow-up. I find that it's very beneficial if you keep your hit points above 0 and reduce theirs to 0. Tends to work, like, at least 90% of the time. Similarly, shoot the Cyber Demon until it dies. So, anyway, we've caught the first checkpoint, miraculously enough. I don't feel like we had much to do with it, but we got here. So that's the important thing. So we were sort of dealing with this Reaper situation while that was happening over there. Genji was also using Dragon Blade, so we didn't really think we had to be involved with it. So you're probably wondering, why didn't Genji kill all the people that were in that Graviton? Anna slept him. So, sucks to suck, get better RNG, noob. Because, I mean, that's basic, like, the Anna sleeping the Tracer or the Genji essentially comes down to rolling a dice and seeing if it comes up 20. Right? Like, that's what it comes down to. Oh, that one question that was on the subreddit, like, how do you get better at sleeping a Tracer or a Genji? You just get luckier, is how it works, essentially. So we've crept up on this boy real good, and we have, once again, sort of let him get away, which is lead the shot a little bit more. It's an issue. Gotta shoot the men. So we know he's back there. Now, I don't want to leave him back here, because I just don't want to leave the McCree behind us. Like, is that so wrong? I just don't want the McCree there. I want us to try harder to kill the McCree, because I don't want there to be a McCree just hanging out behind our team, like, trying to kill people as they come out of the spawn. That's just not something I want to be dealing with. Now, he decided not to do that, and in fact, we just saw him get fucking murdered by our Zarya. So, great. It all worked out in the end. I just don't want the McCree back there, okay? Don't judge me. I just don't want him there. So we ruminate over this decision for a while and then decide to do nothing with it. We've got Barrage. We don't want to change right now because we have our ultimate. It doesn't really matter who you are. Like, just use your ultimate before you die. The caveat to that is, if you think just being the other hero is going to be more impactful than your ultimate, fair enough, drop the ultimate, but you can probably find a use for it. Like, if you're playing, like, if you got fucking, Infrasight, if you got fucking Infrasight as Widow, but, like, you think changing to Winston is good because you can kill their Hanzo, Widowmaker, Genji, and Tracer, don't be afraid to just drop that Infrasight and change to Winston. It's okay. Extreme example, but you get the idea. Alright, so, by the time we arrive, things are not going well. Oh no. We're in a position where we're not going to be able to get out of Deadeye in time, because he's going to kill us. What can you do? You can be not in a position where you get shot by Deadeye, which is fair enough. You know, this is fair counterpoint. So, that's like the worst imaginable thing that could have happened for them, isn't it? That's like the exact, oh my god, the Reinhardt's name is Shifty. It's so good. It's actually perfect. Oh my god, I've never been happier in my entire life. Alright, so there Reinhardt just like threw the game, which is incredible. I play Reinhardt, I'm known to do that. Because of the shift key sometimes. So, that's happening, but they got enough ultimates, we got enough ultimates pouring into that Graviton that we don't have to worry about it. I don't know, honestly, I just want us to keep trying to kill the Widowmaker, cause like this situation, I feel like they've got that under control. I'd rather we just stay on the Widowmaker the entire time, trying to kill her, because like they're dumping like 4 ultimates into that Graviton. We don't need to be there. Like, I feel like they're gonna pull off the Graviton play okay. So, now we have Barrage, so we're staying on the point right now, which is fair enough, but we have Barrage, so what I want us to do in this situation, really, is go and camp one of the doorways to try and kill people as soon as they come through it, right? Like, I want us to just come and, like, lurk above this doorway, and as soon as some of their team burst through to try and touch the point, fucking kill them. Or over that door. I mean, which door you think is more likely to see them come through is up to you. It's probably, like, low SR is probably this door, on average. But, like, High SR is probably that door on average. Basically, we're one of the people who still has our ult. I want us to go and lurk with the ult to kill people as they try and rush back to the point. Because the way they died, like, they're not gonna get that much time. They're gonna be, like, rushing through the doorways. Like, see, I just want to be there and, like, fuck them as they come through the doorway. And, you know, you can say that's not the greatest use of company resources. You definitely capture the point. Barrage isn't that good as an ultimate. Pharah is better than Barrage. And it tilts them. It definitely tilts them. Like, 2 people come through the doorway, and they just immediately get barraged. They're like, fuck it. And they look at the kill cam, they're like, fucking really? She just sat there over the doorway and waited? They're tilted. So we're doing a lot of jumping in open space right now, which is generally a legal maneuver to perform when one is playing Pharah, because it makes it very easy for you to be murdered. This is especially true when the enemy team is almost exclusively hit-scan heroes. It's a very difficult match to play Pharah in. It has gotten to the point where we have to, I do like the patience here. It has gotten to the point where there are so many things on the enemy team that we're meant to be playing around that we should have probably just changed off Pharah some time ago. So, I like the patience here. We just slowly float up behind them. We wait. We don't shoot any rockets to give away the fact we're there. But we have failed to account for who is going to be coming in behind them. Because some of them are still coming back right now, right? Oh, we do, like, see over there. So, like, to be fair, it's basically, because, like, we do actually see that entire space the entire way through. Fair enough. We'll just chalk it up to being unlucky and sad. Because we did actually see, like, the whole area over there. But then Roadhog appears, like, right as we're enacting our grand scheme. I liked the patience to just actually float up behind the people without firing any shots, because so many Pharahs in that position just start firing while they're getting into the position, and then they know you're coming, which makes the barrage way less impactful. So, now we're playing Orisa. We are done playing Pharah. As we can see, things are going well over here right now. Not that much for us to worry about. We can just sort of come forward and start holding down the button. Nano-boosted Moira, not exactly the most terrifying creature I've ever seen in my life. Even if Moira's ulting, like, it's not that good if you nano-boost the Moira. It can be if the Moira is, like, really, really good. But there's better things to nano-boost. Granted, the Ana doesn't have many good options right now, because they're kind of, like, you know we've won the round at this point. We're just have to go through the ceremony of killing all these people. It's just how it is. It's good. That we've done it. We've done it. We've done it. So, what I'll say for that round, basically, is fucking hell, pick a main tank. Right? I don't care who it is. I don't care what other tank you pick. Do not pick Roadhog Zarya as your combo of tanks. That's like the quintessential, no one really wanted to play a tank, so we're just kind of pretending to play a tank. Like, pick a fucking main tank. I don't care what other tank you pick. Pick any other tank. Do not pick Roadhog Zarya as your tank combo. It's a fucking appallingly terrible front line. It's trash. Unless you kill everyone. If everybody on your team executes really well and you just kill the entire enemy team, you got me. I guess it works. But, like, just pick a fucking actual front line. Secondarily, there's like 3 or 4 hit scan heroes on the enemy team. Maybe don't play Pharah, because it starts getting really, like, obstructive at that point, right? So I've used Fortify for no reason, which is a poor use of company resources, because the shield's in the way right now. So they're gonna bust our shield pretty quickly. We can see that they're coming at us with a similar team composition to what we had, except they have an actual tank. So it's, they've got Reddit's flavor of the month tank combo of Orisa and Roadhog, so it's definitely better than Zarya Roadhog, in fairness, but do not do this. This is an illegal maneuver when you're playing, like, our front lines. Like, you're not allowed to do that when you're playing, like, Reinhardt. You're not allowed to do that when you're playing, like, Winston or D.Va. Don't just jump down like that. Similarly, on Dorado, don't just jump down when they're pushing over you. What we do is we come back around this way and we jump down over here. Like, as soon as they start, like, cresting the hill, back it up and come over here and just start defending from over here instead. The entire point of that section over there is basically just to generate as much ult charge as you can, kind of for free. Because we have no illusion of actually defending the payload in this area, right? It's not realistic. You can see their spawn from that area, and you don't want to try and spawn camp people as a general rule, right? Similarly with Dorado, we have no illusion of going up and defending it before on like the first turn of the street, right? Like we base it around the bridge. We do the same thing on Gibraltar rather. The whole point of just that part over there is get as much ult charge as you can right at the start of the round. Then as soon as they start pushing under you, you come and start defending back here. And I do mean like at the top of the hill. Don't come and fight them down here in the pit. You don't want to do that either. The reason for this is, if you're fighting them down here, they actually get the height advantage over you, because they can fire down from the bottom of the pit, from the top of the pit, down. And also, it's really easy to get flanked, because then they can come up behind you and jump down behind you. We don't want to fight, and also, if you're down there, think about how far you gotta run to get to safety if you get caught, right? You gotta run all the way back up the hill. We don't want to do that. We want to defend it at the top of the hill, because then we have the height advantage. Also, think about the geometry right behind us, right? The catwalk above the hangar is like the best high ground in the entire fucking game. Is definitely like top 3 high grounds. If you got like a soldier or a McCree on the catwalk behind you, just like shooting people as they're trying to push up this hill, it's fucking hard, dude, especially if you've got, like a Reinhardt and an Orisa, just, like, sitting at the top of the hill. It's very fucking hard. So we do actually want to defend, like, at the top of the hill. Do not just go down like that. That's not okay. So, and, like, yeah, alright. The thing is with doing that is if you lose the one fight right here, you basically lose the checkpoint. The thing is, though, that part of the checkpoint is so good for the defending team, geography-wise, it's worth it. And Gibraltar is one of those maps where you can feasibly win on any of the 3 checkpoints. So if we lose the first checkpoint, we're not super upset about it. Can you remember when Gibraltar used to have 4 checkpoints, and one of them was down in the pit? What was the fucking point? Holy shit, did that make sudden death on, like, overtime sudden death on this map ridiculous. Because it was just capture the first checkpoint at one point as well. The first checkpoint was down there. Fucking hell. The coin flip was so stupid. Anyway, I'm so glad we went to the time bank system. It's so much better than what we had in Season 1 and 2. Oh my god. Competitive was even worse! Isn't that saying a lot? So anyway, we're now defending at the top of the hill. Wonderful. This is where we want to be. Now, we've used Fortify for no reason again. Because there's a shield in front of us, right? That's bad, because then we keep positioning as if we have Fortify and we almost die. Like, if you've got Fortify, alright, this isn't the end of the world, because you just stand there for the extra, like, 2 seconds, put the shield down. Cool. Don't use Orisa is so dependent on her cooldown. Like, Orisa very much revolves around her cooldowns. Most tanks do. All tanks do. I've thought about that for a second. No, all tanks do. All tanks revolve around their cooldowns. Don't just use Fortify for no reason. That shit's got a mad long cooldown. You don't want to waste it. So, there we lost the first checkpoint. Not the end of the world. We're fighting, like, kind of far up right now, but we can just kind of, like, walk back, so it's not really the end of the world. But, oh no, we've been attacked from behind. And now we're trying to hobble away. We don't really fight that far up on this map either, because it's, like, hard to fight in that area. the whole thing in the hangar is based around, like, this corner, because this corner basically functions as the choke point for this map. Or for this checkpoint, I should say. The choke point for this map is basically like the third checkpoint. But that's how all Overwatch maps are designed. They're sort of designed so that the first couple of points are usually... This is the theory. The first couple of points are designed so that they're meant to be easy to capture, so that the attacking team feels like they get somewhere, and then the final checkpoint is meant to... The final checkpoint is always meant to be hard to capture, because it's meant to be like... It's meant to make it feel like an Alamo kind of thing, where you're like backs to the wall, like... last-ditch defense kind of thing, and as a result, they're sort of designed to be like, basically a funnel directly into this area. If you think about, like, Volskaya, right? That map tries to, like, the first checkpoint is really easy to capture, because there's, like, 9 different ways you can approach it, right? And there isn't, like, a really good choke point at the first checkpoint. But then the second checkpoint funnels you in to this tunnel towards the checkpoint, where the defenders are, like, dug in back to the wall. That's the theory. Now, of course, Overwatch being a fantastically balanced game as it is, we have innumerable maps that do not function this way, despite that being the idea. Horizon, the first checkpoint, is infinitely harder to capture than the second checkpoint. But the second checkpoint is still hard to capture because their spawn's right fucking there. Right? But also, if like Hanamura, so many maps, so many games there end at the gate. Overwatch is a fantastically balanced game, and clearly, as you can see, Blizzard does a fantastic job of following their own design documents. The problem is they don't know where to put the fucking spawns. That's like the problem with every map, right? Why is Numbani Street Face so fucking hard to defend? Well, first off, the geography is favored for the attackers, because there's a lot of angles to attack from. But, also, the defender's spawn takes 30 seconds to walk back to. It's ridiculous. Like, oh my god, the spawn is so fucking far away. Just go to Numbani, go to the second checkpoint for the defenders, and walk back to the street. Don't use any movement. Oh my god. Anyway, we're playing a video game right now. Enough about why Blizzard is stupid, right? Blizzard makes fantastic video games, but god, do they make terrible video games. Anyway, so we're currently, like, doing a lot of, like, walking through our own shield. We also don't have a shield on the ground right now, I don't think, because I'm pretty sure... No, of course we don't. I know we don't. There's, like... No. The shield's right there. It's supposed to, like, tell you the HP, though. It just stopped telling us the HP. Right? Like, it didn't just suddenly break in half a second, did it? Hold on. I'm just upset that this UI element suddenly... No, it's still definitely there. Alright, I was like, we don't have a shield on the ground because the indicator's not there. No, the shield is definitely still there. It's just the indicator disappeared once we put the bongo down. Weird. Alright. So we got no shield on the ground right now, though, I'm pretty sure. Alright, now we have a shield on the ground. We also, like, walked through our own shield, which is generally not a good idea. So I understand what we want to do here. I understand that we want this bongo dead. That's a fair enough assessment of the situation. You gotta remember that there's a nano-boosted with Orisa standing right there, though. Orisa's head is fucking big. You can't just stand in front of her like that. The shield's right there. Like, you can just jump up onto the payload and shoot it from behind the shield. And the Orisa won't be able to shoot you unless she walks through your shield, right? So, I understand the sentiment. There's a better place to stand than directly in front of the enemy Orisa, who is also nano-boosted. Remember that Orisa's head is fucking gigantic. So, anybody who benefits greatly from getting headshots is gonna have a great time. Now, here, the correct play, throw yourself off the cliff. It's one of those situations. 'Cause, like, realistically, you don't get away with this, right? Like, you have got a long way to go. And you don't have Fortify right now. You had your shield, I guess, but, like, unlikely to get away with it. Just jump off the cliff. Also, Orisa takes like a long time to get back. You're just throwing yourself off the cliff, like, is honestly probably like the same length of time, but there's like no risk that they kill you and get more ult charge off of you. So, it doesn't matter though, because we're gonna change to D.Va. No, I didn't think we did it yet. Okay, alright, I was psych myself out quite frequently. So, staggering is happening right now, which is the common issue with this checkpoint. This is the thing with Gibraltar in general, is like the second and third spawn, depending on how you spawn, can really fuck you up, right? Because so many times, they'll capture the first checkpoint, everybody's coming out of the spawn, still. So then you have to run in front of the entire enemy team. Then, they capture the second checkpoint, you're all coming out of the spawn. Oh god, do you have a long way to go to get out of that spawn if you spawned awkwardly. Blizzard World has a similar thing, where if you capture this, or Disney World, I apologize, for my nomenclature. If Disney World, at the end of the street phase, if the defending team spawns in that spawn, oh my god. I've seen so many team kills happen in that area. Fucking hell, like, you capture that checkpoint, they're like right behind that wall, right next to the street, so you just go over there, for just like dogpile on them. I've seen so many like team kills happen right after capturing the second checkpoint on Disney World. It's ridiculous. Everyone knows, like, I just see everybody suddenly just jump over the wall as soon as they capture it, like, let's get them. It's ridiculous. So, staggering happened. Unfortunate. We want this boy dead. We did not kill that boy. Aim better. He's quite far away. Orisa's spread is rather large, so like, staggering is the principal issue that's like, Roadhog died at a really inconvenient time. If Roadhog was alive, right, like, that probably doesn't happen, because he'd just be able to hook the McCree off of that position. So, stagger less, boys. So they captured it with way more time to go. But you'll notice that this video is still pretty long, actually, so things happen. So, we got a minute. I think we changed to D.Va now? Yes, okay. So, like, the principal thing with that one is that we stand in the wrong position quite frequently. Basically, we're standing too far up, or, jump in the pit, which is definitely not allowed. But stagger less, boys. Very important. Staggering is very bad. For a variety of reasons that we've covered ad nauseum so many times before, that I'm sure we don't need to go over it again. Staggering is bad. Don't stagger. Alright, so they're standing really, really far up, which is great news for us, because that makes it a lot easier to kill them. So we see that they have a Toblerone. Toblerone is gone. The Tobler zone is, as a result, removed. Wonderful. He is also building no ult charge now. Well, he's building some, because his turret is probably still alive. But we want him to build as little Molten Core as possible, because Molten Core is a very scary ultimate. Imagine if Torbjorn was a slightly better hero. He would be worth picking just because of how good Molten Core is. Because it is just like, you're not allowed to push for this next 12-second period. But Torbjorn himself is not very good. So that evens it out. Imagine if he was just like a little bit better, though. He would definitely be worth picking. I remember when they made the change to his scrap mechanic, there was a brief window where he was building scrap during the setup period as well. So there was a lot of theories bouncing around at the time that Torbjorn might suddenly become the best support in the game, and he might be worth picking on attack, because he could build up enough, at the time, because it built up during the setup phase, he actually had enough time to get 2 armor packs out before it started. And, a Genji and a Tracer coming at you with, extra health, some of which is armor, is very scary right out of the gate. That very swiftly stopped working. Like, I think they patched that out within the day. So, it wasn't a very big window, but, yeah, that was a very terrifying, like, 24-hour period where we thought that might happen. It didn't happen, though, thank goodness. But imagine if Torbjorn was just a little bit better. He would be very scary. Similarly, imagine if Symmetra was a little bit better. Now, here's something I'm going to predict, right? And I'm going to say it now before we, know very little about the situation. When Hanzo gets reworked, right, I expect Hanzo to be a consistently good hero, right? I think he will definitely, be worth playing. You won't have to be a physical god to make Hanzo be worth picking. Because of that, I expect Orisa to fall off the face of the earth immediately. Because Orisa's head is fucking gigantic. If Hanzo is consistently worth picking, nobody will suffer more than Orisa. Because, assuming he still retains Dragon Strike as well, which I'm not expecting to change. I don't expect Dragon Strike to change. This static defender with relatively low hit points and a massive head hitbox is suddenly going to feel themselves be really upset whenever Hanzo gets picked. So, I'm expecting Hanzo to be good, and as a result, I think Orisa will become terrible almost instantly. Now, you might say, well, won't that also be true of, D.Va and Winston? Well, you see, the thing is, though, D.Va won't, get basically one shot in her mech, so there's that. She's got Defense Matrix to eat the particles. Winston has the bubble. He just jumps on and fights him and does the bubble dance. It'll be fine. Reinhardt has an easily movable shield, right? It's not going to be as much of an issue for the other tanks. Orisa will be very upset. And he, Dragon Strike right on top of, her shield. She has to move out. She's dead. Even if the Dragon Strike doesn't kill her, Hanzo does, right? I don't expect Dragon Strike to change. I feel like Dragon Strike is fine. I expect his abilities to change. Maybe his weapon a little bit, but there's another thing that he's gonna have some kind of dash. Or I don't know if they actually confirmed that or not. I remember seeing something about him getting a lunge. I don't know. When Hanzo gets reworked, Orisa's gonna suddenly become very bad, I expect. We're playing D.Va right now. So, the reason I went back here is that we're walking forward into a lot of things that are gonna take us out of mech pretty quickly. Orisa versus D.Va is one of those matchups where, the one that starts firing first is usually the one that wins. Because, if you can get up on the Orisa and start just, laying into her massive head, you'll kill her pretty quickly. But if you have to, if you start walking in front of her, D.Va's head hitbox is really big. She is gonna start just, chewing through D.Va pretty quickly. See, and then there's a Roadhog there as well. Shotguns are pretty good against tanks, that's a consistent thing. So you gotta be careful about walking in to an Orisa as D.Va. You gotta be careful about, diving on the Orisa as well, but, this is starting to get, a little bit more specific than I care to get into right now. So, things are going well, enemy team are rather staggered, and we're going hard on this Pharah to try and stagger her. Don't use the defense matrix, I want this lady dead. I don't even care if she takes you out of mech, she's unlikely to do so, I don't even care. I just want her dead, because that's such a bad stagger. Don't bother blocking, just, get that last one damage in. So Roadhog has just been fucked by the Anna's bio grenade twice in a row, which is absolutely heartbreaking for him, but wonderful for us. So Toblerone is back there setting up his turret. We have broken the turret. Go kill Torbjorn. Just go kill Torbjorn. It's not that hard for D.Va to do. He's an easy boy to hit. Go kill him. I don't want him back there. I don't want Torbjorn to set up a turret behind us, build up molten core, and then be molten coring us from behind while we're trying to fight the front. Right? I just don't want that to be what happens. Is that gonna be what happens? Not necessarily. I don't want that possibility to be in the game, because if that does happen, we are gonna lose that fight. I do not want him back there. It's alright. Junkrat went back there to deal with it anyway. I want him gone. Okay? So, fair enough. We want Bongo dead. She is a Orisa, nano-boosted, upsetting lady. I don't like her being there either. Go put it in a better position. This is a very terrible position to put the self-destruct in. It still gets a kill, miraculously enough. Just, walk it, here. right? And then you self-destruct, right? That's a better position. And it was like 4 feet in front of you. I just go like a little bit further to use the self-destruct. So we get back in our mech in front of a lot of people. So we get taken out of mech very quickly. But as we can see, many ultimates were used, and it is no longer an issue. Now we start pushing again. Fantastic. Now our team are on the point. I want us to go forward and try and, like, get some chip on, like, somebody, so that we can start getting back in a mech a little bit faster. So Torbjorn's doing this. This is a very bad time for him to be using Molten Core, honestly. Molten Core turret's very scary. Don't do that. Probably thought we were just, like, out of range, but, like, Molten Core turret is very, very scary. And D.Va, baby D.Va, very, very soft. So Torbjorn has, like, wasted his ultimate, as far as I'm concerned, so that's great news. But as we can see, our team are starting to die. This is terrible news. Now, the way that it starts happening, I don't think there's much you do to stop this. We've already gotten it so much further than we had any right to get it. So I'm not really gonna complain about it. 'Cause don't forget, we had a minute on the clock, and we got it all the way to the 3rd checkpoint. I'm not gonna complain. We did it. We did it. So now we gotta defend. They got 4.5 minutes to get it to the 3rd checkpoint. And it is basically just the 3rd checkpoint. So that's very scary. D.Va Roadhog is not a combo of tanks I'm super fond of. Like, it's fine. But it's one of those distinctly in-between combos that doesn't really excel at much. It's just kind of like, it's okay. I would rather we were playing, like, Orisa or Reinhardt, basically. Just because, like, this comp is, like, it's tanky, like, it's better than Zarya and Roadhog, but it's still just, like, average, right? It's not, like, great. Like, it's not great at killing people, because, like, Roadhog can do essentially nothing to help D.Va, like, kill people. D.Va is gonna have to, like, go off to dive people, because that's what D.Va does, and then Roadhog is left behind to, like, be the main tank during that period of time. It's not ideal. I would rather we were playing Reinhardt or, Orisa, basically, so that we had, like, more presence. It is one of those combo of tanks that's very common, and it's, like, it's okay. It's just, like, it's not... There's better. There's better. I remember reading, like, this one post that was, like... It was from... I can't remember if it was from, like, GM Roadhog or GM D.Va. It was from one of them. And they were like, I have never in my life seen a Roadhog win when there is a D.Va on the enemy team or on the Roadhog's team. I'm like... I understand if the D.Va's on the enemy team, because she'll make it, like, she makes the Roadhog really hard. I'm like, I feel like it's probably a bit of hyperbole to say you've never seen a D.Va and a Roadhog comp win when they're together. I was like, that just seems very extreme, you know? Anyway. So many tangents. So we see Bastion. Bastion's purple right now. Fucking let's kill him while he's purple. The fact he became purple is nothing short of miraculous when you think about how many shields were in the way right there, and I just barely slipped that one in. Fantastic news. So now we try to get away. Oh no, Bastion got in turret form before we got away, and he killed us. Because he got revived by Mercy. Did somebody on our team die? Like, did we lose somebody on our team? We lost Junkrat. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it becomes difficult for us to kill, Bastion there. There's also a Pharah on the map as well right now, which is another inconvenience. This is a very inconvenient team for us right now. So here's why it's bad, right? So here's the issue. Now, Roadhog can hook Bastion. This is true. So Roadhog is good against Bastion. So many shields. So many shields. And here's the other inconvenient factor, right? Like, okay, we got 2 shield breaky boys, right? And Roadhog himself is also a shield breaky boy. But Soldier and us, really, as D.Va, have to try and deal with Pharah as well? So we have, like, 2 DPS heroes on their team that demand our focus. Like, both of them demand our focus. But, like, if we ignore one, the other will just be killing our team. So it's a very inconvenient combination of DPS for us right now. I don't realistically see Roadhog getting much value versus this team because he has to try and slip the hook past so very many shields. And he, like, while we're trying to break those shields, we're gonna be getting minced by Bastion. I would rather Roadhog was playing Reinhardt at this point. Cause at least then, like, Reinhardt can also kind of deal with these, Bastion payload comps because if you pin the Bastion, it's all over. And this map, the architecture is such that there are a lot of corners you can come around as Reinhardt and, like, get the Bastion. Like, there's corners all at the first checkpoint, there's all the boxes and shit during the second checkpoint. You can just jump on him on the second checkpoint. Like, there are ways for Reinhardt to get to the Bastion and, like, take apart this comp by by pinning the Bastion. That's more likely to happen than Roadhog slipping a hook past all of those shields. Also, Roadhog can at least block some of Pharah's damage and some of Bastion's damage while we're trying to deal with one of those things. I don't see Roadhog paying off very much during this. If we can get Whole Hog and Nano Boost, maybe. But, at the same time, he still might die before we actually get to him. And they have an Ana. So if he gets tranked, or Earth Shattered, that all falls apart as well. Anyway, so team comp, in this kind of situation, like, one hero pick can very easily be the difference, because I see Roadhog accomplishing nothing unless he gets lucky, and the enemy team fucks up, basically. And as we know, any play that revolves around the enemy team being bad is itself a bad play. So, we have managed to get the Bastion, miraculously enough. Reinhardt pushed the shift key. Wonderful news. I know how tantalizing that key is to push. If he was a little bit like, I'm pretty sure if he was more reserved, this just, like, doesn't happen. Back it up. I'm a fan of Reinhardt, so this is of great personal importance to me. His shield did actually break, and he got hooked. But then he decided to push shift while his shield was broken, and he was purple. Definitely not the correct play. Now, he did kill Ana, so he's got that going for him, I guess. He could have just, like, gone behind the point and let Orisa tank for a little bit, and then he comes back forward with the shield when he is, not purple, and he has some shield. And, wonderful, it's all good again. Instead, he sees that he's half health and purple, and pushes the shift key. Now, I love to push the shift key myself, but that was definitely not the time. Even I would think twice. Even I would consider not pushing that button in that moment. So we've managed to kill the momentum on the Bastion comp, which is fantastic news. As soon as you kill the momentum once, it's very hard for them to get it going again. Now, the fear is basically that, like, they come back, because the way they regain momentum is basically Bastion comes back in tank form and manages to, like, gain enough forward momentum to get back on the payload. That is not what is currently happening. So, I think they change off the bat. Nope, Bastion's still there. Just saw Bastion set up on the catwalk. So, I want this boy, like, dead. I don't want this boy set up anytime soon. I'm gonna go in on this boy, like, right now. Here's why. Got self-destruct. This mech is entirely expendable to me right now. Just let's go in. Just let's go in. Roadhog's being nano-boosted right now with Whole Hog. He's going in with the Rudy Tooty Whizbang Shooty, and he's got a bunch of steroids pumping through his veins, which somehow makes his gun fire harder. I don't understand the physics behind it myself either. All I know is that science is fantastic. So it all works out somehow. So, they're probably a little upset right now. This is where the tilt has already, like, as far as I'm concerned, we've already won. Because you know they're tilted. You know they looked at that 1 minute to 4.5 minutes and they were like, We got it in the bag, boys. And then we pushed it that far, and that's when the tilt set in. Right there, when we pushed it that far. Now, they've lost half of their time, and they're like, oh fuck, we haven't even captured the first checkpoint yet. The tilt has already started. As far as I'm concerned, we've already won. So we use self-destruct. It's a little unfortunate that we lost our mech in there anyway, but we had self-destruct, so it's not the end of the world. We now immediately try to lose our mech again. We are not allowed— this is one of the most violent closets I've ever seen in my life. I've seen a violent closet or two in my time. Some of them even contain skeletons. This closet— definitely the most violent. We're not allowed to go in there. We sit outside, and then we try to go in as baby D.Va. Don't go anywhere near that door. Don't let them come out. Going into that room is a very good way to die. Just be more patient. There's no need to go in there. It was sad we lost our mech in that room to begin with. We immediately decided we didn't want our mech anymore. Chill the fuck out. It's okay. So they regain momentum. They no longer have Bastion. They have Soldier now. It's okay. They always do that. They're always like, alright, Bastion didn't work. I'm going to change to Soldier now. It's kind of like Bastion. You know, it's an automatic weapon. Close enough. But Junkrat's managed to pick their Ana. Fantastic news. Now Orisa's dead as well. I don't know why we decided to come up here. We should just be, like, going on to the point right now to try and, like, kill anybody else that's there. We do see people over there starting to collect. We want them dead. They're starting to try and, like, sit on the high ground. We as D.Va want to go kill the people on the high ground. But as we can see, it's all going well anyway. So there's no need to be concerned. We've almost got self-destruct built up. We, like, back way the fuck up. We are our team's main tank right now, don't forget. So we, like, really shouldn't be, like, backing up quite, because we need to be over here to actually, like, have the presence. I think we might have been, like, looking for Pharah behind us. Pharah killed herself. No concern. Whole problem resolved itself, quite literally. So as we can see, we've won. we've won the game. There is an Ana here, touching the point. I don't like using the self-destruct right here, because it's just Ana on the point, and I'd rather save it in case, like, they start managing to recollect, like, right here. I would much rather have self-destruct right now than just trying to kill the Ana. Because I would much rather kill the Moth. But, anyway. As you can see, though, we have still most likely won, because they are currently just, like, sprinting forward to try and touch the point. Now, this Orisa, this is a situation where we are allowed to just, like, walk into her and start killing her. Because we've got full defense matrix, just get her. Just, like, walk forward, defense matrix up, walk behind the shield, lay into that big, juicy head hitbox. And then maybe if she starts using Fortify and you're scared, alright, you can back up, no problem. Just, like, go in on that lady. There's no need to be so concerned. So we see Roadhog hooking people back here. Soldier's using Tac Visor. Just, like, get all up in his grill. He can't shoot past us. We're still big. It's all good. Even though we didn't have, defense matrix. It's alright. We're still physically a large character. So you just get up in the soldier's face. Nothing he can do about it. He can try and sprint around you, but that's just not what he wants to do. It's such a good highlight intro. That's fair enough, yeah. Oh, no, no, alright, okay, easy. Even, last part was, like, real bad. He's like, easy, I did it. So, we talked about a great many things. We've been watching a 28-minute video. I've been recording for almost 50 minutes. It'll be cut down a little bit because there was pre-stuff. But, like, we've been here so long. We're not going to belabor the point any further. We talked about many things. We tangented many times. The moral of the story is that Hanzo's going to be OP. We have the sample size of Mercy to work off of. Mercy after rework, holy shit, mad overpowered. Based off this principle, I expect Hanzo to be mad overpowered. Orisa's gonna be mad bad as a result of that. Big head. big buff to Orisa comes in immediately afterwards. Her head hitbox suddenly much smaller. So they just, like, go in, shrink her head down 50%, right? They're like, done it. Fixed it. Pretty sure they did exactly that to D.Va at one point, but that would have been like 2 years ago. I don't remember what I ate for dinner yesterday. Fuck if I know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. I hope you found the video helpful. Woo, that was a bad video.